Welcome back to the Chowster Upskilling Technology Podcast, where we dive deep into the latest trends, insights, and challenges in the world of technology and cybersecurity. I'm your host, Steve Chow, and today we have a very important and eye-opening episode for you. We're going to explore some of the most notorious real-world cybercrimes, their impacts, and how we can protect ourselves against these invisible threats. Cybercrimes have emerged as one of the most significant threats to individuals, organizations, and even nations in the digital age. The rapid advancement of technology and the proliferation of internet-connected devices have provided cybercriminals with a vast playground to exploit. These crimes, committed using computers and the internet, encompass many malicious activities, including financial fraud, identity theft, cyber espionage, and ransomware attacks. The anonymity afforded by the internet allows perpetrators to operate from anywhere in the world, often making it difficult for authorities to track them down and bring them to justice. Consequently, the global impact of cybercrimes has escalated, prompting a surge in efforts to enhance cybersecurity measures and protect vulnerable systems. Let's start with one of the largest data breaches in history, the Yahoo data breach. In 2013 and 2014, Yahoo suffered a breach that exposed the personal information of over 3 billion user accounts. The breach included names, email addresses, phone numbers, dates of birth, and hashed passwords. It wasn't until years later that the full extent of the breach was disclosed. The background of this breach highlights a significant failure in cybersecurity practices and protocols. Yahoo's security measures at the time were insufficient to prevent such a large-scale intrusion. Reports suggested that the attackers used a combination of phishing attacks and advanced malware to infiltrate Yahoo's systems. Once inside, they could navigate the network undetected for an extended period, extracting user data without raising alarms. The impact of the Yahoo data breach was profound and far-reaching. Beyond the immediate loss of personal data for billions of users, the breach had severe financial and reputational consequences for Yahoo. The company's acquisition deal with Verizon was significantly affected. Initially, it was valued at $4.83 billion, but the final sale price was reduced by $350 million due to the breach. This reduction reflected the anticipated costs of lawsuits, regulatory fines, and the necessity of enhanced security measures. Furthermore, the breach led to a cascade of legal challenges, including user class action lawsuits and investigations by various regulatory bodies. The breach marked a turning point for Yahoo, underscoring the critical importance of robust cybersecurity measures and timely, transparent communication in maintaining user trust and corporate integrity. Do you remember the infamous WannaCry ransomware attack of 2017? This attack paralyzed critical infrastructure and services worldwide, targeting computers running the Microsoft Windows operating system. The ransomware encrypted data and demanded ransom payments in Bitcoin, affecting over 200,000 computers in 150 countries. The WannaCry attack reveals a complex interplay of vulnerabilities and security lapses. The ransomware exploited a vulnerability known as Eternal Blue, which was believed to have been developed by the U.S. National Security Agency, NSA, for intelligence purposes. This exploit was leaked by a hacking group called the Shadow Brokers in April 2017, just a month before the WannaCry outbreak. Despite Microsoft having released a patch to fix this vulnerability in March 2017, many systems, particularly those running older versions of Windows, remained unpatched and thus susceptible to the attack. The rapid spread of WannaCry highlighted the critical need for timely software updates and robust cybersecurity practices. The impact of the WannaCry attack was immediate and profound. The United Kingdom's National Health Service, NHS, was one of the hardest-hit organizations, with at least 80 hospitals and healthcare facilities affected. This disruption led to the cancellation of thousands of medical appointments and operations, putting patients' lives at risk and creating a healthcare crisis. In addition to healthcare, various sectors, including telecommunications and logistics, have experienced significant operational disruptions. For instance, major companies like FedEx and Telefonica reported substantial service interruptions. The economic toll of the attack was enormous, with losses estimated in the billions of dollars due to downtime, lost productivity, and the cost of restoring affected systems. Despite the widespread havoc, the financial gain for the attackers was relatively modest. The perpetrators collected around $140,000 in ransom payments, a small sum considering the scale of the attack. This disparity underscores the broader motives behind ransomware campaigns, which may include sowing chaos and demonstrating vulnerabilities rather than purely financial gain. The WannaCry attack served as a wake-up call for organizations worldwide, emphasizing the importance of cybersecurity vigilance, regular software updates, and the need for global cooperation in addressing cyber threats. The Equifax data breach, 2017. In 2017, Equifax, one of the largest credit reporting agencies in the U.S., experienced a massive data breach that exposed the personal information of approximately 147 million Americans. This included social security numbers, birth dates, addresses, and driver's license numbers. The breach underscores a critical lapse in cybersecurity practices and governance. The vulnerability in Apache Struts was identified, and a patch was made available in March 2017. However, Equifax did not apply this patch promptly, leaving its systems exposed. From mid-May to July 2017, attackers exploited this vulnerability to infiltrate Equifax's network and extract data. Equifax discovered the breach on July 29, 2017, but the company publicly disclosed the incident on September 7, 2017. This delay in notification drew significant criticism and raised questions about Equifax's transparency and crisis management protocols. The impacts of the Equifax data breach were far-reaching and severe. For consumers, the exposure of personal information led to increased risks of identity theft and financial fraud. Many victims had to take proactive steps to protect their identities, including placing freezes on their credit reports and enrolling in credit monitoring services. The breach also resulted in a loss of trust in Equifax and raised broader concerns about the security of personal data held by credit reporting agencies. Equifax faced a barrage of legal challenges, including class action lawsuits from affected consumers and investigations by federal and state regulators. In 2019, Equifax agreed to a settlement of up to $700 million to resolve these claims, with $425 million earmarked for consumer restitution and credit monitoring services. Equifax undertook significant measures to bolster its cybersecurity defenses and restore its reputation in response to the breach. These measures included overhauling its security infrastructure, investing in advanced threat detection technologies, and enhancing its incident response capabilities. The company also made leadership changes, including appointing a new Chief Information Security Officer and establishing an independent committee to oversee cybersecurity initiatives. Despite these efforts, the Equifax data breach remains a stark reminder of the critical importance of cybersecurity vigilance and the far-reaching consequences of failing to protect sensitive information. The Target data breach, 2013. During the holiday shopping season of 2013, retail giant Target experienced a massive data breach, compromising the credit and debit card information of 40 million customers. The attackers accessed Target's network through a third-party HVAC contractor, using stolen credentials to infiltrate the company's point-of-sale systems. The Target data breach reveals a sophisticated and well-coordinated attack. Cybercriminals initially targeted the HVAC contractor, Fazio Mechanical Services, by phishing emails that tricked employees into divulging login credentials. Once armed with these credentials, the attackers breached Target's network and installed malware on the POS systems. This malware captured payment card details, including card numbers, expiration dates, and CVV codes, as customers swiped their cards at checkout terminals. The stolen data was transferred to a remote server controlled by the attackers, who later sold the information on the black market. Target discovered the breach in late December 2013, but the damage had already been done by then. The impact of the Target data breach was profound and multifaceted. Financially, Target incurred significant losses, estimated at $162 million, covering costs related to legal fees, settlements, credit monitoring services for affected customers, and overhauling its security infrastructure. The breach also led to a steep decline in consumer confidence, as customers felt betrayed by the company's inability to protect their sensitive information. This loss of trust was reflected in a notable drop in holiday sales and a subsequent hit to Target's stock price. In the aftermath, Target faced numerous lawsuits from banks and consumers and investigations by federal and state authorities. The breach ultimately resulted in the resignation of Target's CEO and CIO, further emphasizing the severe repercussions of such cybersecurity failures. The Target data breach underscored the critical importance of robust cybersecurity measures and the potential risks posed by third-party vendors. Target implemented several fundamental changes to strengthen its security posture in response to the breach. The company invested in advanced threat detection technologies, enhanced its encryption methods, and adopted more stringent access controls for third-party vendors. Additionally, Target appointed a new Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, and increased its focus on employee cybersecurity training. The breach also served as a wake-up call for the retail industry at large, prompting many companies to reevaluate and bolster their security practices to protect against similar threats in the future. The Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack 2021. In May 2021, the Colonial Pipeline, a major U.S. fuel pipeline system, was forced to shut down operations due to a ransomware attack by the DarkSide cybercriminal group. This led to widespread fuel shortages and panic buying, particularly in the southeastern United States. The Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack reveals a sophisticated and targeted approach by the DarkSide group, known for its ransomware-as-a-service (RAS) model. This model allows affiliates to use the group's ransomware tools in exchange for a share of the ransom proceeds. In this case, the attackers gained access to Colonial Pipeline's network through a compromised password for a virtual private network (VPN) account no longer in use. Once inside, they deployed ransomware that encrypted the company's data, effectively bringing operations to a halt. The attack exposed significant vulnerabilities in the cybersecurity practices of critical infrastructure operators and highlighted the growing threat of ransomware to essential services. The Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack were immediate and far-reaching. The shutdown led to significant disruptions in gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel supply, causing fuel shortages and long lines at gas stations across several states. The panic buying and fuel hoarding exacerbated the situation, leading to further shortages and price increases. In response to the crisis, Colonial Pipeline paid the ransom of 75 Bitcoin, approximately $4.4 million. However, the U.S. Department of Justice recovered some ransom, highlighting the complexities of dealing with ransomware payments and the efforts to combat cybercrime. This attack underscored the vulnerability of critical infrastructure to cyber threats and prompted a significant response from both the public and private sectors. The incident increased efforts to bolster cybersecurity defenses in the energy sector, including implementing more stringent security measures and protocols. The U.S. government also took steps to enhance the resilience of critical infrastructure, issuing executive orders to improve cybersecurity standards and encouraging collaboration between the public and private sectors. Additionally, the attack spurred discussions about the need for better incident response strategies and the importance of maintaining robust cybersecurity practices to protect against future threats. The Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack is a stark reminder of the potential consequences of cyber attacks on critical infrastructure and the urgent need to address these vulnerabilities to safeguard national security and public welfare. The Sony Pictures Hack 2014. The 2014 hack of Sony Pictures Entertainment is one of the most infamous cyber attacks targeting a major corporation. The attackers, believed to be linked to North Korea, breached Sony's network, stealing and publicly releasing confidential data, including unreleased films and sensitive internal communications. Sony Pictures Hack reveals a complex and politically charged cyber assault. On November 24, 2014, Sony employees discovered that their computer screens had been replaced with a chilling image of a red skeleton and a message stating that the company had been hacked by the Guardians of Peace. This group claimed responsibility for the attack and demanded that Sony cancel the release of the interview. Subsequent investigations by the FBI and other cybersecurity experts suggested that the hackers used sophisticated malware to breach Sony's network. They exploited weaknesses in Sony's cybersecurity defenses, gaining access to massive amounts of data and exfiltrating it over several months before launching the attack. The use of advanced persistent threats, APTs, and other high-level tactics pointed to a state-sponsored operation, with North Korea as the primary suspect. The impacts of the Sony Pictures hack were severe and multifaceted. Financially, Sony faced immediate and long-term repercussions. The company incurred substantial costs related to IT repairs, legal fees, and measures to enhance cybersecurity. The public release of unreleased films and scripts resulted in potential revenue losses. At the same time, the exposure of sensitive employee information, including social security numbers and personal emails, led to privacy concerns and legal action. Employees filed lawsuits against Sony for failing to protect their data, leading to significant legal expenses. Additionally, the breach caused considerable reputational damage. The leaked emails revealed controversial and embarrassing conversations among executives, straining relationships within the industry and leading to public backlash. The scandal culminated in the resignation of top executives, including co-chairman Amy Pascal. In response to the attack, Sony Pictures implemented a comprehensive overhaul of its cybersecurity practices. The company invested heavily in advanced security technologies and protocols to prevent future breaches. This included enhancing network security, implementing multi-factor authentication, and conducting regular security audits and employee training. The Sony hack also had broader implications for the entertainment industry and corporate America, highlighting the critical need for robust cybersecurity measures. It underscored the potential for geopolitical tensions to spill over into the corporate realm, making cybersecurity not just a technical issue, but a matter of national security. The Sony Pictures hack remains a stark reminder of the destructive potential of cyber attacks and the importance of vigilance in an increasingly digital world. These real-world examples of cybercrimes demonstrate the far-reaching and often devastating consequences of cyber threats in today's interconnected world. The incidents involving Yahoo, WannaCry, Equifax, Target, Colonial Pipeline, and Sony Pictures highlight the financial and operational impacts and the severe damage to reputation and trust. As cybercriminals continue to evolve, employing increasingly sophisticated techniques and exploiting new vulnerabilities, the stakes have never been higher for individuals, organizations, and governments. Addressing skill gaps with Chaucer's comprehensive cybersecurity training to defeat these cyber threats. In the face of escalating cyber threats, organizations must prioritize equipping their workforce with the necessary skills to defend against sophisticated attacks. One critical challenge is addressing the skill gaps within their cybersecurity teams. Chaucer, a leader in cybersecurity training, offers comprehensive and robust programs designed to fill these gaps and empower organizations to build a resilient defense against cyber threats. Chaucer's training programs also offer certification opportunities, allowing employees to validate their skills and knowledge in cybersecurity. These certifications are recognized within the industry and can significantly enhance career development and professional growth. By supporting employees in obtaining these credentials, organizations can build a highly qualified and motivated cybersecurity team that is better equipped to tackle the challenges of today's digital landscape. By offering these certifications, Chauster ensures that employees can demonstrate their expertise and commitment to cybersecurity. These credentials enhance individual career prospects and contribute to building a robust and capable cybersecurity team within the organization. This investment in professional development is crucial for maintaining a high standard of security practices and effectively mitigating cyber threats. In an era where cyber threats are increasingly sophisticated and pervasive, addressing skill gaps within cybersecurity teams is essential for organizational resilience. Chauster's comprehensive and robust cybersecurity training programs provide a strategic solution. Through customized training, hands-on learning, continuous education, cultural transformation, and professional certification, Chauster empowers organizations to build a skilled and proactive cybersecurity workforce. By partnering with Chauster, organizations can enhance their defense capabilities and better protect their digital assets from the ever-present threat of cyber attacks. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Chauster Upskilling Technology Podcast. Stay tuned for more insightful discussions and expert advice on navigating the ever-evolving world of technology and cybersecurity. If you enjoy staying informed about the latest technology trends with us, click on the subscribe button. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.